Hallo, hier ist Naruto 1986. Herzlich willkommen zu Ncis Part 12. Und wir machen jetzt mit dem Verhör weiter. Machen jetzt hier mit dem Verhör. Aber echt, ey, wie die da immer so bekloppt.
Back, Doctor.
I'm not telling you anything.
We know what you were doing out there, in that blood-stained concrete torture box.
You don't know anything.
As doctors, we took an oath to protect human life and limit suffering. I understand that sometimes those two goals conflict with each other.
You have no idea what you're talking about. This is a war zone, Dr. Mallard, not some comfortable morgue in Washington, D.C. Things work differently here.
I have spent more than my fair share of time in a war zone, Dr. Marks, and I once watched a man tortured to the brink of death repeatedly. It was my job to keep him alive so that his tormentor could extend his suffering. I refused and instead ended his suffering and his life. Much as I suspect you did for the victims out at that dreadful facility.
You have your facts wrong.
Why don't you correct me then?
I am a doctor. I save lives and end suffering. End of story.
You were torturing people at that warehouse.
No, never.
Doch.
That's not good enough.
I would never intentionally inflict suffering on another human being. I'm not a torturer, Agent Gibbs.
Oh Mann, ey, das ist doch so irre, echt, wirklich, ey, die Frau, die spinnt doch, ey. Wegen der kommt man das die ganze Zeit machen hier. Boah, das nervt, ey, wirklich. So.
Saw the inside of your warehouse. We know what you and Husker were doing out there.
He ordered me. He made me inject them with sodium pentothal so they wouldn't resist his questions. Then he ordered me to nurse them back to health, just as Dr. Mallard described from his own experiences. He wanted to extend their pain. But I never tortured anyone. It was always Captain Husker. I did as I was ordered. I eased their pain, reduced their suffering as best I could.
Who were these people?
Iraqi civilians, mostly.
Need something more specific.
They were all Iraqi civilians. People he picked up off the street who he suspected as having ties to terrorists.
So you killed them.
I tried to help them.
But he found out.
Yeah, he did.
So you killed him too.
Yes, he found out, but no, I didn't kill him.
Das war das. So, hier. Ja, nimm doch an. Verarscht ihr mich jetzt gerade? Alter, ihr seid solche Penner, ey, wirklich. Puh, wisst ihr was? Ihr könnt mich kreuzweise. Oh Mann, was soll das rein? Ah, okay, das war
Your
das.
autopsy proved that the commander was killed by a lethal injection of succinylcholine. You injected him. As he was dying, you hit him over the head to finish him off.
It wasn't like that. When he found out, he threatened me. Asked me if I wanted to trade places with one of the victims. I was scared. He came at me. I already had a syringe, so I injected him, but he was strong. He fought back.
Ach, hör auf zu hören, das kann.
Exactly what you're trying to say?
Jetzt müssen wir es nochmal machen. Ja, sorry, ey, wirklich. Jetzt müssen wir den Scheiß nochmal spielen, ey.
We know what you...
You have no idea what you're talking about. This is a war zone, Dr. Mallard, not some comfortable morgue in Washington, D.C. Things work differently here.
I have spent more than my fair share of time in a war zone, Dr. Marks, and I once watched a man tortured to the brink of death repeatedly. It was my job to keep him alive so that his tormentor could extend his suffering. I refused and instead ended his suffering and his life. Much as I suspect you did for the victims out at that dreadful facility.
I am a doctor. I save lives and end suffering. End of story.
You were torturing people at that warehouse.
He ordered me. He made me inject them with sodium pentothal so they wouldn't resist his questions. Then he ordered me to nurse them back to health, just as Dr. Mallard described from his own experiences. He wanted to extend their pain. But I never tortured anyone. It was always Captain Husker. I did as I was ordered. I eased their pain, reduced their suffering as best I could.
Who were these people?
They were all Iraqi civilians. People he picked up off the street who he suspected as having ties to terrorists.
So you killed them.
I tried to help them.
Help them?
I didn't kill them. I did as I was ordered. I eased their pain, reduced their suffering as best I could.
Jetzt kommt wirklich schön. Warte mal, das war die. So. Warte mal, ob ich das. Warte mal. Jawohl, jetzt.
Also found the succinylcholine.
No, it's not something... He was inflicting terrible, unspeakable things. I couldn't let him keep doing that. Not to anyone. So I injected the succinylcholine instead of the sodium pentothal.
But he found out.
It wasn't like that. When he found out, he threatened me. Asked me if I wanted to trade places with one of the victims. I was scared. He came at me. I already had a syringe, so I injected him, but he was strong. He fought back.
Fang an schauen, das zieht bei mir nicht. Oh Gott. Ah, okay, wir haben es alle. Das war nur die einzige Aufgabe, was wir noch machen müssten, ne? Tatsächlich.
What's the matter, Tony?
Oh, caffeine crash. I don't know how the Gibbs man does it, but if coffee is his secret weapon, count me out. I mean, I like coffee as much as the next guy, but Gibbs is inhuman.
How much did you lose by?
It doesn't matter how many more he drank than me, okay?
A lot. A whole lot.
Like you're one to talk. You don't even drink real coffee, just that little soft drink. I'd like to see you try to switch to a real man's brew. Then we'll see who's laughing.
You know, Tony, there's actually more caffeine in calf cow per ounce than in your typical cup of coffee. In fact, even with the latest coffee brewing technology, there's no way, either physical or chemical, to squeeze that much caffeine out of a coffee bean.
You'd have to artificially add caffeine to reach the same levels, and that's not even counting the ginseng, vitamin B, and other stimulants in calf cow.
Very nice, McGee.
So what are you saying?
They're saying you're the only one who can't hang with the boss.
Ja. Die dran stehen, ey. Wie die dran steht, die Abby. Oh. Episode beendet. Ja, natürlich. Und jetzt machen wir auch weiter. Jetzt kommen wir langsam endlich ins Finale. Sie haben eine Trophäe verdient. Ncis Agent.
3 fingers scotch, 1 cube of ice. My friend is gonna stick with the soda. And I don't blame you. Looks like a nasty bruise on your arm. Put away one too many last night and take a spill.
Astute as always, Mr. Donazzo.
To the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Und los geht's.
Must be my breakfast.
Nicht.
Mr. Donoso, you are under arrest.
Das geschehen hat so recht, Alter. Warum ist das so blöd? Und jetzt ist immer still. Jetzt geht's los. Na also. Und weiter geht's mit dem nächsten.
Gibbs.
Agent Gibbs, this is Commander Pramus calling from Iraq.
What do you need, Commander?
It's Dr. Marks.
Yeah?
She was found dead in her cell early this morning. The acute-based doctor said she was strangled to death.
What's up, boss?
Dr. Marks was found dead this morning. Strangled.
Und let's go.
Thought I didn't have access.
It's need to know. Now you need to know.
So let's hear it.
Naval intelligence was running a sting operation in Iran. Posing as weapons dealers, a Black Ops team made contact with a terrorist cell just outside of Baghdad. Their mission was to identify the leadership and eradicate the entire cell.
Let me guess. They screwed up.
In so many words, yes.
How?
Things didn't go as planned. Before they could track and eliminate the terrorists, the officer in charge of the op was killed.
The CO was murdered, so the op failed.
Exactly.
There's something else. What?
This morning, 2 deep-cover Navy SEALs were found murdered in a Dubai hotel room. SecNav has requested our help in investigating their murders and securing their assets.
And the SEALs are related to the sting.
That is what we believe.
How?
That's what I want you to find out.
Anything else?
Anthony DiNozzo Sr. was arrested this morning. In Dubai.
My father?
What's the charge?
I don't know. It's out of our jurisdiction. And Dubai hasn't been as agreeable sharing information lately, considering what's been going on in the Middle East.
DiNozzo, David, grab your gear. You're going to Dubai. DiNozzo, SEALs first. Then your father.
Understood.
Gut, dann wollen wir nach Dubai. Jetzt wird's interessant. Wir sind kurz vom Finale. Das ist jetzt der letzte Episode.
You're on body detail. Ziva, check for signs of a struggle. SEALs often use high-security laptops. If they had one, we need to find it.
Klar doch. So, das ist jetzt das, wie soll ich sagen, die letzte Episode. Finale kommt auch immer näher. Dann kriegen wir es heute noch fertig, das Finale. Das ist gut. Und ja. Dann werde ich jetzt noch mal meinen Part beenden. Wir sehen uns im nächsten Part. Euer Naruto 1986. Ich freue mich, wenn ihr wieder dabei seid, wieder einschaltet. Ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß dabei oder noch Spaß dabei, euch dieses Let's Play anzuschauen. Und ja. Ich sage jetzt mal auf Wiedersehen. Bis gleich. Das war jetzt Part 12. Wir sehen uns im 13. Part wieder.